Hey, Dub Nation, it's Chris Paul, and you're listening to Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, Chris Paul.
Come on back, CP3.
What is it about you? Why are you excited? What has Chris Paul done in a Warrior uniform that's exciting?
It's not that he's done anything necessarily exciting. I like the way he plays.
You can't wait for him to be back.
I like the way he plays.
Yeah,
undersized, like the dibber.
Dribble.
Leader.
You
see him talking to Quinones and Pods.
He's going to dribble. He's going to look to the left, and he's going to pass it. Chest pass.
Might be a bounce pass.
Maybe.
It's not going to be a one-armed hook pass to no one.
That's exciting.
The chef.
Could land anywhere.
Could usually does. I like the way Chris Paul plays.
All right, that's
He plays with a little bit of a snarl and a swagger.
Sure.
Like the dibber. I see myself in Chris Paul in many ways.
You feel like you play with a swagger.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, absolutely with a swagger.
Okay.
Watch me walk down the street.
I do.
Yeah.
That's not a swagger. That's called a limp.
It's a fine line between a limp and a pimp. Okay?
Not in your case.
Yeah, you know what?
Very clear line in your case.
I'll tell you this. Who's more likely to get jumped on the way back to the parking garage, me or you?
Me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm just doing I'm
doing my Chris Paul thing. Try to come for me.
I mean, I could if I wanted to.
Come on.
Twice your size.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a certain amount of understated anger.
Yeah.
In Chris Paul's game.
Oh yeah.
And I like it. I like that edge.
You're like a chipmunk or something. Like you're like a squirrel.
I'm biting kneecaps.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. Like a bear cat, actually.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that is. The only reason I've had a lifelong journey of trying to find out is because that was my high school mascot.
San Mateo.
Yeah, San Mateo Bearcats. And our rival, the Burlingame Panthers, that was one of their rallying cries was, what is a Bearcat anyway? And we would always be like, it's a bear mixed with a cat, because we didn't know.
Do you now know what it is?
I do, because one night, and I'll age myself here, but this is back when like late night talk shows like a Jay Leno or whatever would have the animal people come on.
I love the young people.
Right. The animal person would come on. He'd be like, I got animals. And it would, Jay would be like, act like he's scared and all that stuff. Like it was great milk and cookies content, ladies and gentlemen. And they're out there. They usually bring in different animals.
Yeah.
It's like the animals you haven't seen before. And I'm just sitting there all groggy one night, 11:15, whatever it is, Jay Leno, I think, or one of the people. And out comes the animal guy. What do you have here, Ian? Oh, well, this is a Bearcat. And I was like, boy, they didn't have iPhones out yet, but if they did, I'd have sent a group text like Dan Dibley after a Steve Kerr extension. I'd have been like, everybody turn on the TV. I found out what a Bearcat is.
Awesome.
And it's a nasty little bugger. Oh, they'll eat you. Mm-hmm. They'll bite you. They will. They'll bite a kneecap.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat it. Yeah, it's kind of down in the area where they could reach. They're little. They're about yay. I'm holding up like what looks like a carry-on.
Like 2 feet?
Like a carry-on
They're
tote
bigger
bag.
than that. Look up Binturong on the internet.
What the hell is that?
That is a Bearcat.
Oh, that's right. That's the other word. That's the other word. Yeah.
Very cool animal.
Yeah. They're fierce. They
Binturong.
will eat you.
Google it.
Yeah. They will eat you. So be careful. You are. I'm going to call you that from now on. You're a little Bearcat.
I wish that I could dispute this characterization sensation, but
Dan Binturong.
Yeah.
Emphasis on wrong, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
How do you spell it?
Binturong.
I see it. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Look at him.
Arcticus Binturong.
They got a long tail, and they will wrap it around your neck and squeeze. They're fierce.
Yeah.
Big
carnivores.
whiskers.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the University of Cincinnati used to have a live one as its mascot.
Okay, and how'd that
be
go?
Safe.
How'd that go?
Well, I don't think it's with us anymore.
Was it anything like a tiger jumping into the audience in the auditorium?
Right.
Anything like that? Anyway. Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, Chris Paul.
Yeah.
He's a Binturong.
It's a great question.
Yeah. I like it. I'm excited to have him back.
Okay.
And, you discount his leadership and his ability to take care of the basketball.
I've just
for a team that turned the ball over 22 times in front of you Friday night.
He's Chris Paul, and so he's a Hall of Famer, and so automatically there are good things that he does on the court. I'm sorry if this rubs people the wrong way. I've just never really been able to take the whole thing seriously. because I don't think the Warriors, they can talk about connectivity all they want. I don't think the Warriors set out in the offseason and they got a little group together at a table and they're like, all right, what are our offseason needs? I'll tell you what, I'd love a 38-year-old point guard who gets hurt every year. I think that's what we need. Give me some 38-year-old NBA action, Mike. Chris Paul is financial flexibility. He is nothing more. He will not be here next year. And so
if he was nothing more, then they wouldn't play him. He would be getting DNP CD. He'd be getting the DeAndre Jordan treatment. Did you know that DeAndre Jordan is still in the association?
I did not. Who's he play for?
I think he's on Denver.
No. Is he really? Look at that. Yeah.
I mean, I saw like 7 cutaways last night, and each time I saw a guy who looked to be about 7'1" with the classic goatee.
He got on the floor one time last night during a timeout when the rest of his team was in the huddle. He was under the basket.
Oh.
Layups.
So
everyone else is in the huddle.
There you go.
Super engaged.
There you go.
Do you know that an entire basketball team's core once upon a time flew across the United States to convince that guy to stay with their team as opposed to leaving to go to another team?
Yes.
That happened.
And
including current Warrior Chris Paul, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's probably true. Yeah. Lob City. Suckers. All right.
DeAndre Jordan has appeared in 29 games this year, and he's an NBA champion based on last year's participation. Sensation with the Nuggets. Clippers, Dallas, Knicks, Brooklyn, Lakers, Philly, and the Nuggets.
You know what else bothers me about DeAndre Jordan is he represents for me the laziness of the nicknames because it started out as Hack-a-Shack. Get it? It rhymes.
Right.
And then whenever there was another player that people would foul on purpose because they couldn't shoot free throws, nobody could come up with another nickname that was cool for that particular player, so they would just call it Hacka and then put their name in there.
Right.
And so they would call that Hack-a-DJ. I'm like, that's not funny. That doesn't make sense at all. You need to come up with something better. Like, I wanted to call it Dare Jordan because you're daring him to make a free throw.
Genius.
That would have been more creative. It's not great, but it's better than Hack-a-DJ.
I was ready to give it a 4. You know what his actual basketball reference nickname is? It's even lazier than Hack-a-DJ.
What is it?
DeAndre 3000. This is basketball reference, and sometimes I think these are actually made up.
That's fine.
Number 3.
It's better than Hack-a-DJ.
It sure is. DeAndre Jordan.
Does he have 3,000 of anything?
Probably missed free throws.
That's a good answer.
Thank
That's
you.
Good answer. Good answer, Dibs. Good answer.
Actually,
good answer, Binturong.
Free throw attempts 3660.
Okay.
And he's made 1738 of them. So he's only missed about 1,900. He's missed about 1,900 free throws.
So he's missed more than he's made?
Oh, correct.
Oh, God.
Free throw shooting percentage of 47.5.
Dude, painful.
My point about CP3 is if they wanted him to be like, you're just here for flexibility, he'd be getting DeAndre Jordan minutes.
No, I disagree with that.
Which is timeout. Apparently, he's getting timeout touches.
No, I mean,
TOTs.
Look, I don't mean to say that in terms of he can't be a productive piece. Sure, he can still do some things. He's making $30 million for the Warriors. Just because you're not a part of a team's full plan doesn't mean you don't get minutes. The Warriors are playing Lester Quinones right now. You think they think he's a key piece to the future? Like, he's on the team. So you put him out there when you need him. And maybe Chris is more than that, but I don't buy that that's what they were going for. That's what they could get.
Yeah.
And he's flexibility, and that should be the name that's on the back of his jersey, not Paul.
But he's more than just flexibility. I think he's a piece that you can play and you can think that he can go out there and help you. DeAndre Jordan is just a dude who just sits there. And he's,
my eyes are really going to be on this.
Yeah.
I really want to watch it because the Warriors have been playing pretty good basketball of late.
Right.
Not great, but pretty good.
I think that's the interesting part is if Chris Paul comes back and plays and doesn't play well and the team suffers, how quickly Steve Kerr would be willing to pull the trigger. And we know that Steve Kerr defaults to veterans. And there's no one more veteran than Chris Paul.
No, and he spoke openly at the press conference last night with regard to his plans for Chris Paul, and they are not insignificant. So And the Warriors, again, similar to announcing the extension, they're smart. Have them come back against Washington. The big rematch between Paul and Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Very exciting. But a game that I would hope, at least, the Warriors will probably win. And so that sort of like eases you back in. The very, next game, which will be on Thursday, is much more difficult at Madison Square Garden. You don't want that one to be Chris's first. You want this one to be Chris's first.